Like somebody asked me in middle school. I remember they asked me.
Hey, do you like YouTube?
I was like,
I guess they're an okay band. I'm not a huge fan of them.
Welcome to the Content Mill, the show where four creators from four corners of the internet all get together to talk about what we are making, what we are playing, and for today's episode, what we've been making and what we've made.
And why?
And why? Why? I am your host, Gianni. With me, as always, are my three illustrious co-hosts, starting with the man in the bucket hat, Nate. Earl, Gear, how you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I am yet again in a bucket hat because, they are perfect for the time of the season and the weather. And it has been scorching hot around me. And boy, keeping it off my neck, it means a lot to a pasty white boy like me.
Mm-hmm. Those are some good Yoshis I'm seeing right there.
Good Yoshis,
Yeah,
dude.
it's
Good
a
Yoshis.
reversible one too. So I've got like just solid green on the it's a top 10 hat.
Oh, you can keep the Yoshis for yourself.
Yeah.
Top tier.
just
Top
for
tier.
your view.
He's like this. He's like looking down.
Oh, yeah.
Don't look like Yoshis.
The Yoshis. Next, we have Mr. 70% complete in the flesh. Phil, how are you doing today?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling retrospective. I'm feeling introspective. And I'm here to answer the all-important question, why?
Retro and intro. The question is
Retro
why.
and intro. Why?
Last but not least, we have Eric, Mr. the Human, aka Mr. the Human Plays. Eric, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I also am very curious about why. Because I don't think that's really ever something, I've known you guys for a while now, and I don't know why. I don't know why we do this, I don't know why. So I'm very curious to see where we're going. How are you, Gianni? How are you feeling about it?
I'm
you
doing
feeling
good.
Introspective?
I'm feeling very introspective. The retrospective, introspective, all the spectives, dude. We're trying to change perspectives. Any spective you can think of, that's how I'm feeling right now. I just the reason for the season, the reason that we're having this episode is your boy just had his 12-month affiliate stream in the last couple months. My 12-month anniversary, 12 years now. 12-month affiliate anniversary over on Twitch, which felt like kind of a big milestone for me. And we got to kind of talking like we want to look back on our journey to this space that we're in here at the Content Mill. We're about to hit our 50th episode here coming up shortly. We've got a lot of milestones that we're coming up on that we've already hit. So we thought what better time than now to kind of talk about why we do what we do, when these journeys of ours started in the creative space, the content space, the media space. I know we've all kind of had different pathways and journeys to the spaces that we're in now. And I just thought it'd be a good time to look back and reflect and kind of just figure out why we're doing what we're doing. If we'll keep doing what we're doing, maybe we give up tomorrow. I don't know.
Maybe.
Who knows what happens? Maybe we don't make it to
maybe we're
episode
done
50.
after this. Yeah.
Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the last episode of
This
the Content
is
Mill.
Crazy. Even
It's
though
going to
we
be
know
really
it's
weird
not.
when we talk about what the last episode actually is next
I know.
episode.
Yeah, that is crazy.
So I figured, you know what? Let's get deep. We're going deep, baby. We're going deep. You know what I mean? I wanted to. We're gonna kind of have like a little conversational episode. I don't have really I said this in the pre-show. I have one bullet point for this episode, which is bullet point creative journey ? And that's kind of what we've got to work with. That's what we've got to work with. That's what we got to work with. So guys, I kind of wanted to kick to you first, and just kind of open up the floor and the door, the floor and the door. I want to start with you, Phil.
Oh, geez.
Oh.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about like your history and creation and making. I want to keep this as broad as possible. This is a very broad episode that we're having. I don't want to just be like, oh, how long have you been podcasting? This and that. Tell me about like your creative journey throughout your life. Where does it start? Where does young scrappy Phil start creating?
I feel like it starts with. We were talking about this in the pre-show. It starts with Legos, right? It always starts with Legos.
It does.
And I feel like that's kind of where I found my way of like, okay, I'm gonna like build my own things and have some fun times with that. We'll jump forward because that's kind of like a childhood thing that most people have. And now I'm gonna leap directly into Nate's life. My like actual start of weird creation stuff is when I was in, I think it was like at the end of middle school, starting in high school. My dad had a big old roll. It was like a 50-foot roll of I think it's fascia. Can't remember what it's called. It's the stuff that goes underneath. Your roof goes out.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
And the metal stuff underneath it, soffit maybe. That stuff, that metal.
Things.
So it's like sheet metal.
That metal.
And I spent several summers going from building armor and swords out of cardboard to then elevating it up to I printed out an entire 1-to-1 scale size of Master Chief's battle rifle, and then I hand jigsawed that out of wood, and then to the metal, and this is kind of where my connection with Logan comes in from 70%. For a high school project in German class, a class that we didn't take quite very seriously, and it was mostly just our fun time to fuck around in high school. We needed to do a all German language project, and what we ended up doing was filming a short film, and it was us wearing Crusade era knight costumes that I had crafted out of that metal. So we had like the full blown like Crusade helmets. I actually have
Speaking Nate's language right now.
Yeah, very, very much so. Yeah.
Yeah. We had chest armor. I spent a summer making chainmail, which was a fun time. And we filmed this short film. It is not available, but it is archived. And it is us, like Logan and I, doing fight choreography. We do we do physical props. We do physical effects. There's a particular like blood explosion when I kill Logan. That is something that we talk about constantly. And then there's also a hilarious side bit where it's all like the whole framing device is that it's like a chess game, and then you zoom in on the chess game, and it's like two dudes fighting in a battlefield.
Hell yeah.
And our friend Nick is the person who's moving the chess pieces, and he made a really funny, like gnarly guitar, like background music to it. This is on DV cameras. Like I was making this on tape, and then we were taking those and taking them analog to digital, where I was making them in Movie Maker. And like that's kind of where it starts. And then like from there, like I become really close friends with Logan, and we do theater stuff. So like I have a whole like background in like theater set design. I did light and sound design with Logan. He and I were technical directors for our high school, and then we kind of like did that for a small like regional theater company for a couple of years. And then like the other part that kind of lines up with what my current thing is, and when we talk about like a creator through line, there's a couple of like major moments that lead to Phil running a YouTube channel making 90-minute videos about concrete. The first one is in high school, my junior year of high school, and I might have mentioned this on content before, I'm not sure. I had a really cool social studies teacher who basically reached out to me and Nick and said, hey, you guys seem to be doing this video thing. There's this contest now that's like part of a competition in school, and you can make a like short documentary, and then it's the classic school setup where it's like it's in your local class, and then it's regionals, and then it's state and national and all of that. And so I made a short 5-minute little mini documentary about the Long Range Desert Group, which is a group of British soldiers in World War II. And they were like the LRDG were like a group of soldiers who like fought in the African front. It was a really cool story. The standout points of that are I made this thing I recorded the audio for it. I like put archival clips together, again, all in Movie Maker. The audio for
Shout out.
the voiceover was all in a British accent, which was convincing enough. So we'll take that. And I ended up went to UW Madison with that to go to regionals or to go to state, and won in my group. And then that went
Hell yeah.
to
Wow.
I like went to nationals. I didn't get to go to DC for that, but so I have this like weird. I actually did this thing and it worked out for me.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
And then I made a couple of AMVs in Dream Theater AMVs specifically in college, and then I kind of just like stopped doing video content. I pivoted to doing a lot of written stuff, short fiction on the internet. My original like first thing was it was called Forge Collective, which was a short fiction website, and it was in 2014. And the whole idea was that I had just moved to the big city, and you were able to go to the website and you were to select a story that would be as long as your commute was. So it was based on like average reading time. That didn't work out. So we moved on to the next thing. That's when I made the audio drama. So there's a 2-season audio drama that I wrote, directed, edited, mastered, etc. That's out, that I feel really good about. That is called Audio Log, Logue, 2 seasons of that. I just republished it, actually. I guess go look at that if you like radio plays. It's a weird thing. Super proud of it. And then I kind of like dropped that off, spent 5 years working in physical goods. I got really good at CAD. So I made I made desks. I like successfully funded a Kickstarter for an adjustable plant stand, which is when I got back into video. I like machined a pen on a Swiss lathe, and I like designed the click mechanism and all of that shit. Tried to kickstart that, and that didn't work out. Had a kid, and then I was like, I need a hobby.
Worked out.
Yeah, that worked out. That one worked out pretty good so far.
That one's good.
Because I haven't abandoned that one.
So far. You never know.
Like four or 5 years strong so far.
Yeah, so far.
Yeah, let's go. Let's kickstarted that one, you know.
Yeah.
But then basically that happened, and I was like, okay, like I can't keep doing this stuff that requires a lot of time and it's difficult to do.
Yeah.
What do dads do when they want to have a hobby and they want to stay in touch with their friends? By God, I started a podcast. And I talked about this a little bit on Short Game Long Top when I was on to talk about Jusant, but
Yes.
I started getting back into indie games that made me feel things, and I was like, I need people to experience this. Whatever I can do to get people excited about trying out things that they maybe hadn't really thought about is where like that started. And then Logan has been my partner in that stuff since we began, and now I make 90-minute YouTube videos because I can't help myself. I can't keep it easy.
And because you're really good at it too.
Well, yeah, working on it. But yeah, I mean, my stuff is like all over the place. Like it mostly
I was gonna
always.
say you've like dabbled in a little bit of everything. It's kind of interesting to see like the through line, because you can see traces of all those things that you did. Like, and we'll jump into mine later in the episode, but like there's a lot of things that I did like as a kid that you might see like traces of that in like my personality, but not in the projects that I work on now. Whereas like for you, Phil, it's interesting because like you can see that foundation from all of those things that you just mentioned in everything you do right now.
Yeah, I mean, like the current project I'm working on has like, I'm not doing accents anymore, but it has like, theatric voiceover. It has like the theatrical lighting and sound that I do. I used CAD to make a prop.
Yeah.
Like it's like all kind of woven in together. And maybe this is my final form. Maybe there's nothing else after this. Like I found it. I finally did it after 20 years.
You did it.
That's crazy. Yeah, you've been all over the map for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it comes from a sense of not being happy with quarterly goals and being told what to do. So that's kind of where it all comes from. That's my why. It's that I want it to be my quarterly goals. I want me to circle back with myself. So whatever we can do to make that happen, we'll do it.
We'll put a pin in that. We'll put a pin in that and circle.
Yeah. It's called a setup, my boy.
Yeah, you nailed it, dude. Yeah. You nailed it. Nate, I want to hear, because Phil mentioned a lot of like physical stuff. Nate, you're like known now in the physical space, you know, for the work that you do. And I, you know, obviously we talk about it at length. I'll let you kind of explain, but I kind of want to similarly, like, where does that journey start? And I'm sure it's got many facets to it as well, not just what you're doing right now. Where does that journey start for you?
So before Phil went, I wasn't aware we were going back to childhood. Because, it is where it does start. And, basically Halloween. That's always been my biggest infatuation of just dress up and all of that stuff. And that then spawned, of course, let's make movies in those. And I have so many home videos with friends. And then that leads to theater and drama, and being so into it that I was not in the school drama class because it was ran by someone that didn't know what they were doing to run a drama class and filled with kids that I wasn't really fond of. So I was in the local community theater from 6th grade until senior in high school.
Nice.
And I did everything. So the set design, costume design, I learned makeup stuff. I did acting. I did my first paid job was at that theater running lights for adult plays.
Hell yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So that was my...
We'll crossover there. We're getting
Techies
some crossover. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And then I graduate high school and move out. That stuff becomes a lot harder because, you know, early college and being broke and stuff.
Yep.
And then COVID hits. And COVID works in my favor a little bit. I moved back home with my mom thinking it's going to be 2 months. I'll get a place, move out. And then I end up stuck with her for 2 years.
Yep.
But it was a fantastic 2 years for me because in that time I got a 3D printer. I was, you know, we were knee deep in the Mandalorian at that point. And I went, I've always wanted my own Mandalorian helmet. So I made it. And then that kickstarted everything. And since then I was like, well, I'm making this stuff. I'm sure there's other people that make this stuff. Oh yeah, there's huge communities. I mean, I can start posting what I'm making, and then, oh, hey, I stumbled upon a cool design. I made my own version of it, did a silly video in it one time, and 1 million something views later, I now have a TikTok and a Twitch, and that's kind of caught up now. And then the podcast shortly after that.
It's kind of amazing to hear you talk about that, because this is going to be an old person thing, and I'm sorry for you to say this, Nate, but I remember like when I was doing the like battle rifle or like trying to make like a cool sword or something out of wood, I was like trying my damnedest to find like 720p images of Legolas's swords, and like I'm cruising the message boards on like the RFP. Like I'm just like doing whatever I can to go on these
RFP.
platforms.
Oh my god, the RFP.
Yeah, man, the RFP. And like it's just really impressive and really cool to hear you talk about like, I got a 3D printer and it just like fucking opened the world to me, because like really that's how it feels, right? Like you spend so long trying to figure out like, how do I make this damn thing? And like trying to do that pre-YouTube, just like doing like a forum post here and there. You're like, these guys can fucking weld. Like I can't do this. I just want to slap some stuff together. And like the fact that you're able to just like jump right into it is like super cool. And like it is one of the things when I look at technology, it's like, oh, it's not that the kids have it better these days, but like the gateway to you going from I have an idea to I've made that thing real is
it's so much
quicker. Cool. Yeah, and it's so nice. You can figure so much stuff out by just like getting your hands dirty and doing it. It's really cool.
Correction, I looked it up because it's the RPF.
I know. I
just want to make sure, because I typed it in and I was like, no, because when you said that, and we'll get to
Did I say RFP?
Yeah.
RFP, yeah.
In my head, I was like, oh yeah, the replica prop forum.
when you said that, it like I haven't thought about that in like a
Yeah,
decade,
of
Phil.
course not.
That fucked me up.
I don't
Yeah.
even know what that is. I don't even know what that is.
It's like
Yeah.
where all the old heads go together and say, like, these are the exact pieces of 1970s lighting equipment that was used to make Luke Skywalker's thing. And this is how you can find it.
Yeah.
Like, this is the specific type of resin that was used in the gun grip of Deckard's pistol in Blade Runner.
Oh,
Like,
to
it
make
is-
like exact replicas,
Yes.
basically,
Yes.
of the things that, yeah.
It's like a race to the bottom of who can have the most like screen accurate thing. It's so cool.
Interesting.
Like, it is
That
the
is,
most
that's a
Yeah,
cool
that's
concept
rad.
that something like that exists, for
it's
sure.
it's an entire form of Adam Savage's, but it's so cool. It was a cool space. I think it's still around.
It is. I just went
Okay.
there.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
It's still there.
It's like old people Instructables.
No, I mean
Nice.
but that's keeping those things alive. You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
that art. You know, I think of like filmmakers and things like that. Like those are spaces where you can find those types of things that are keeping that art form alive. You know what I mean? Nate, let me ask you, when you because you mentioned you're like, I got this printer and blah blah blah. Did you have the intention when you initially got that, like, I'm gonna make helmets, I'm gonna make a Mandalorian helmet, or
No,
was
it
it like, let me just buy this thing and like make it a cool fun project for myself? Like, what was the decision behind that, or did you give it as a gift? I might have missed that.
No, I got it for myself. This was
Yeah.
my first, like, besides a car, this was my first like big adult purchase.
Yeah,
I got a nice printer, and it wasn't just helmets at the start. It very quickly became that, but it was, I wanted to make a little of everything. I have a lot of things that aren't even like from anything and more just useful around the house stuff.
yeah.
And like Phil said, it really opens up like, oh, what if I wanted this type of hanger for this X thing on my wall?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can make that and print that, and I
Yeah.
have that now, and I didn't have to like go searching for it or find it at a store or anything. I just made it and I have it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because like one of my best friends, that's his use case for the 3D printer. Is it's all just like, oh, I needed a freaking knob for the toaster broke off. Like now I can just make one. Like, like little things like that, or like cases or things for like the kids' toys and things like that. Like it's been kind of cool to see that different side of the use case for it. So I was just curious what the initial use case for you was. That's very interesting.
Nowadays, it is 90% helmets and cosplay pieces, but it does get still used for some useful stuff.
I love
Have
that.
you like branched outside helmets? Like, have you gone to chests? Have you worked on chest pieces?
My entire cosplays are 100% printed by me.
Oh, all of it. Okay, cool.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, all of my pieces of my armors and stuff like that is all made by me.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
Okay.
awesome, dude.
Yeah, because like you have a chest piece, you have like gauntlets and greaves, right?
Gauntlets, shoulders. Yeah,
Probably some belt stuff.
I'm building a hidden blade.
Ooh,
Assassin.
assassin, assassino.
Assassino.
Well, speaking of cosplay, that's a nice little segue there.
Oh yeah.
I want to hear from Mr. The Human Place. I want to hear from you, Eric. I know your creation journey spans like multiple art forms as well.
It does. It does. It spans all over the place. Yeah, I have some, like, going back to childhood, the main thing I can kind of like pull from is the fact that like I've always wanted to do something creative. I didn't know what for a while. I wanted to do writing. I wanted to do, like, for a minute there I was really into poetry and I was pretty good at it. Like I was a pretty good writer at one point. I was also extremely a class clown and always had the talks too much demerit on my report cards. I got separated from my classmates constantly. I was always moved around my seats until I chilled out about like my junior year in high school, I think is when I kind of like chilled out. But I really like, I always wanted to do something creative, but I didn't know what. And then I wasn't like making any kind of content. I wasn't even thinking about that. I didn't even know what YouTube really was until after high school, which I graduated in 2012. So like I didn't really like somebody asked me in middle school. I remember they asked me, "Hey, do you like YouTube?" I was like, "I guess they're an okay band. I'm not a huge fan of them." I like literally didn't know what the fuck they were talking about, and I wasn't very online. I had like a MySpace and then a Facebook, and then like junior year I think is when I got an Instagram, but I wasn't really like posting anything. And then I don't know what brought me to it, but cosplay entered my life. And I bought a really cheap, like $60 Deadpool, basically morph suit. I went to my local convention, which is also one of the bigger conventions on the West Coast, which is called WonderCon, which was in basically my backyard. I did that. It was a blast. And then I basically went to every convention in Southern California for about, I would say, from 2013 to, I want to say, because it was March 2013, and I think I went to almost every convention in Southern California from 2013 to 2017.
Jeez.
And I started posting my stuff, obviously, because like that's, you got some friends who are online and they post their stuff and you post their stuff and you become friends. And that's why I always joke that I'm pretty sure I've known Chris for over a decade. We just didn't know it yet, because I bet you somewhere in his long plethora of cosplay photos, he has taken a photo of me at some convention, because we're basically in the same circles.
Yeah.
And so, I started with a really shitty Deadpool. Then I think I was like somebody from Borderlands at one point, and they're all kind of shitty. And then I was like, who has a really cool fit? Harley Quinn from Injustice specifically. And I made it. I gender bended it, is what it was called at the time. And that kind of was my first like stint of like whatever kind of popularity, right? I did a really good job on it, and then I did a better job, and then eventually that led to me being the Joker, which meant I was clean shaven, which is kind of crazy. And I got known for that for a little while. There's photos of me out there. If you look up Eric the Human specifically, because that's what I went by, you can probably find some photos of me as the Joker, which doesn't look like me at all. And then I was doing that, and the whole time I was doing that, I also had been getting into YouTube as not as a content creator, but as somebody who was following, like watching Game Grumps and Markiplier and Jesse Cox and like all these guys that I was like, oh, they're playing games. That's sick. And me and my buddies were watching this stuff, and we are like, oh, this is fun. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so we started, at first, it started as a podcast, because my buddy who interviewed me one time for a cosplay thing, he was like, hey, you guys should do you should do a podcast, because you like games and all that stuff, and you can like start it as like a sub thing of mine, because he had a long running podcast. Shout out to Dylan, nerd with an opinion, I think is what it was called.
Nerd with an opinion.
Yeah, and that was back in the long ago. And he's actually the one, credit to him, the first ever person to call me Mr. the Human.
Which no way.
Led to
the origin story.
Yeah, as I got older, I was like, you know what? Mr. the Human sounds better than Eric the Human. And so I stuck with that. But we started doing a podcast called Gone Gold Gaming, which was a fun alliteration and a fun little in the know, if you know what going gold is in video game world, which is basically back in the day, shout out physical media, is when a disc goes to print. So like the 1.0 version of a game it goes gold, and that goes and ships out the stuff. Nowadays they ship that and then there's a day one patch. So it's not really ready. But
I still use the term, but it's negligible.
Yeah.
And
doesn't really mean much.
It doesn't really mean anything anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So we had started that podcast, and we had actually, I'm remembering, we did like an 8-episode podcast called Pumpkinhead, because we were just making a Pumpkinhead podcast for whatever fucking reason. I know it was because one of my friends' he had a size 8 head, which is a very large head. And we just named it that for whatever reason. So we had some podcasting under our belt. Then we started doing the gaming thing. We started doing podcasts. They were pretty decent. They were fine. But then we're like, why don't we just make a YouTube channel? So I actually, while we were setting up, I logged into my old YouTube, because I was in charge of that. And my first video was from, let's see, I want to see. It was from all the way back in January 21st, 2016 was the first video of Gone Gold Gaming.
Hell yeah.
But prior to that, we were a podcast, so it was even earlier than that. But it was me and 3 friends making podcasts and just talking about whatever. We didn't really have like a topic or a gimmick. We just covered games and whatever. It was not very good. It was fun for us, but it was not very good. And obviously, I wasn't doing all of the networking and connecting and doing all the stuff that you actually need to do to grow your show. And the conversion rate from people who were following me, which I had a decent following on Instagram, to the people in the cosplay world who would listen to my gaming podcast were not very high. And then I started making YouTube videos. I was really enjoying it. I was doing iMovie. I was doing all the editing. I had an Elgato. I was doing this all off of a MacBook Pro. We would do batch recordings. The guys would come over on Saturday. We'd have shifts of basically like 2 people would go up into my room and record and play their game, and then then the other 2 people would go up and play their games.
That's really good.
Clocking in and clocking out.
Yeah.
Then I would have like 6 hours of footage that I would then cut up. Would cut up into stuff, because I also had at first, before I got a Blue Yeti, was of course the Snowball.
Yes.
That I had. Which, God, that thing picks up literally everything. So we were doing that. And we were doing these long days, and I actually like reorganized my room to record better, so that we could fit seats in there to then record. Because my room was not very big. My room was smaller than this room that I'm in right now, at my mom's house. And then we were doing those. I was doing all the editing. We were uploading a video every single day, a Let's Play between 10 to 20 minutes every day.
Dedication.
That's too much.
And I was doing that. And I had my other friend who edited, I think, 5 videos. And in the lifetime of Gone Gold Gaming, I edited, I think, 372 videos.
Good Lord.
Wow.
And you want to know how long Gone Gold Gaming went? I had mentioned it started January 21st, 2016 on YouTube. The last video that was uploaded was around March 2017.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing while I was in college.
For one entire year.
No. And then eventually I got fed up that no one was doing anything except for me. I was making the thumbnails. I was editing the videos. I was buying the equipment for the most part. I was buying games. I was doing all that stuff. And I said, fuck that. I'm going to make my own channel. So I did. And at that point, I had bought Final Cut Pro and a new MacBook, because my other one was fucking screaming at me. I actually still have the same MacBook over here that's basically just used for, streaming stuff that I don't want to stream on my PC kind of thing, because I'm like, that thing still has the built-in no virus situation kind of thing. So I'm like, I don't pay for NFL Network kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, we know.
Yeah.
Like, how much a Sunday ticket? Let me break out the MacBook.
Yeah, that's basically all it's for. It still runs perfectly fine. That's all. I mean, old MacBook. It's If I unplug it, it dies immediately, but it still works. But yeah, so I started the Eric the Human YouTube channel, which had almost no direction at all. But in the first, March 2017, I uploaded a welcome to my channel and a preview to things to come. Within the next day, I had a gross jelly bean challenge. Then within 2 weeks after that, I had a travel video to Sedona, because, hey, guess what? First appearance of my now wife on my YouTube channel. It was all the way back in April 2017.
Wow.
And then I played an Adventure Time game, because obviously Eric the Human is inspired by Finn the Human. I did an egg roulette challenge with 2 of my best friends. I played Breath of the Wild. I did Joker makeup tutorials. Then I played a little bit of Until Dawn. I had a video of me getting this tattoo right here. And then
it was like, Eric, what's your channel? Yes.
Like, you just did YouTube.
You were like, I'm just a YouTube channel. Yeah, literally, I'm a YouTube channel.
Yep. Yeah. Then we started doing a podcast about like anime, which lasted almost no time. Yeah. Then we started doing I started doing stuff about, like, this was when I started to get into some kind of focus of something, which was I had a Let's Get Hyped series, which was like,
Let's
hey,
get hyped.
this thing's coming out, let's get hyped about it. And I did that for a little bit. And then I think the next thing was me doing, I got into D&D a little bit because again, just fucking potpourri of a channel over here.
Yeah.
Which is basically, if you've ever had a conversation with me, it's basically just what that's just
it tracks.
It's just me. Yeah. And so I started
Eric, I don't know, he's all over the place.
it's everywhere, bro. Can you see the shit behind me?
I don't know what his interests are. They're all everything's his interest.
Everything. All of them. You could probably sell them on anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I started doing the series that actually kind of took off, but then for whatever dumb reason, I stopped doing it, which was I got all of the basic classes and races from D&D, pulled one and the other out of a hat and gave myself 5 minutes to make a backstory. And I did that.
Ooh.
Yeah. And if you actually you can't look because I unlisted them all. Yeah. But basically, like, one of these fucking videos, let me see which one it was. One of these videos, I think, was my first, like, big success of a video. Yeah, I got like 5,500 views. Like, it was not a small thing at the time. This is back in 2017, so that was actually kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But then I went into a D&D podcast, of course, where I was the DM, and that lasted 4 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so that was December 19th, 2017. That was the last video I uploaded.
You did all of that in 9 months?
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
That's wild, dude.
While working, having a long distance girlfriend, and in college.
Wild.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
And then I stopped until October 20th, 2020. And just take I want you guys to take a wild guess what my next, and this was an actual consistent theme. I uploaded from October 20th, 2020, which was right after I lost my job, to which was
you got job loss emotions running high there too.
Until April 30th, 2021. I started uploading these videos like once or twice a month. That's my hint I'll give you guys.
I mean, you had to have become a right-wing pundit, right?
Right, obviously. Obviously. Just lie to the internet and rake in the cash.
That's right. Yeah, I think you took on an internship at Fox News, right? Is what you said?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Yep. Nailed it in one.
Nailed it in one.
Clip it.
Clip it. Yeah. Break it out. I think this was when I was the most radicalized against the right. Like,
yeah. I mean that's pretty close, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean it wasn't Animal Crossing, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
that would have been smart. I probably would have been.
Yeah, that would have been really good for you.
That would have been great. Yeah.
I don't know.
This is before your Horse Girl era.
Of course, yes, 2020.
I don't know. What were you doing?
I was opening packs of Magic cards.
Oh, yes.
Cool.
This is the time. Yep.
This is what I spent my unemployment on. Because I was going crazy.
Smart move.
So I started making YouTube videos again, doing that. I busted out the laptop. I started making YouTube videos. I got reacquainted with Final Cut Pro after 3 years. And I did that. I started opening packs. And then in April, I stopped because then I moved from California to Arizona, and I was living with my in-laws, and we were waiting for our house to be built out here. And along the way, something I had not mentioned this entire time was my dream of streaming, but I did not have, 1, the capability of doing it through my MacBook, and 2, did not have good enough internet at my mom's house to be able to do it. So it was never fulfilled. And in retrospect, I could have just done it. I wanted a certain presentation, and I could have just done it through PlayStation 4, and it was decent. And I think I did that a couple times, and I should have just stuck with that. But instead, I was like, no, I want to do the whole thing, right? I want it to look good. I want it to be official. And so that's always been my dream. And I just wanted to mention that because I tried it a couple times through that 9 months that I was just absolutely bodying content. And it just never worked out. It failed.
Steamrolling through content.
Steamrolling through content. Man.
And so YouTube.
Yep, basically. So April 30th, 2021, my last pack opening video. I then stopped again because that's what you do. Because I was
Yeah.
living with my wife in her parents' house in a small room. And, you know, obviously I didn't have a TV. I didn't have a TV that had like a capability of really playing a game because it was smaller than a monitor in there.
Yeah.
I literally bought a monitor specifically to play Elden Ring during this time period. And then I had an idea for a podcast, like you do. And that podcast was Short Game Long Talk,
Ooh.
which is now we're now into the things that I'm actually kind of known for, which Short Game Long Talk premiered. It's me and my goddaughter Jess, and I am her godfather through her quinceañera, so I'm her padrino. She picked me and my wife to be her
It's a big
padrinos.
responsibility.
It's a big responsibility. We've been very close, like, you know, ever since I moved out to Arizona. I was living, you know, we would interact a lot and we got really close. And I had an idea for a show where you play short games because if you know me, a lot of my favorite games are massive, really big, long time. And I was like, there's a lot of small games that I missed and I would like to play them, but I want to talk to somebody that's like not really in the gaming sphere as much about them.
Yeah.
So I asked Jess, and also the joke is that I needed somebody that was a theater kid on the show.
Important.
And-
Vital, I would
so,
say.
obviously, I asked my 17-year-old goddaughter, hey, do you want to start a podcast together?
Hell yeah.
And that was October 3rd, 2022, which means in this October, it'll be 4 years of that show running and having at least an episode every month that whole time.
Jeez.
Along the way, I was doing that and I was chilling. I was making just the podcast. I was doing the podcast. We were playing short games. We had Between the Games, which are just our interstitial kind of intermissions where we were talking about the Super Mario Bros. Movie and like random shit like that. The show has come through very, very many different
Iterations.
like facets and iterations. And then I finally move into my house. I'm here. I've already moved into my house when we've done these recordings and things like that. But then I finally pulled the trigger on a PC. Finally.
A personal computer?
A personal computer. My own personal computer.
Wow.
And so this whole time, guys, I was editing the Short Game Long Talk on and recording on that same MacBook that was recording like from a long time ago. And so I got my PC. I started learning more editing tricks and things like that. And I was like, you know what? I think it's time. I think it's time to finally fulfill the dream I've had for almost, like at this point, almost a decade. More than a decade, actually, to start streaming.
Yeah.
And so I started streaming, and it seems like based off of this VOD from January 13th, 2025 was the first time I streamed, which was a little over a year and a half ago.
That feels way sooner.
It was. It's not that long ago.
Yeah.
And I streamed an Elden Ring randomizer for my first stream. And I started streaming. I then started making clips. I started connecting. And this whole time I've been meeting people like Phil. I had interacted with Gianni a couple times. Nate was the only person I didn't really know when we started the show. But I've been interacting. Like Phil's first appearance on Short Game Long Talk was not long after
Yeah, it was February.
I started streaming. It was for oh my god, where is it? It's on here somewhere. Oh, it's not. No, it is. There it is. I was a teenage exocolonist. Yeah, February 17th, 2025.
Damn,
That
someone
was the
get me on that show. I wonder what's taking so long.
This man acts like I didn't tell him when he's showing up this year. I literally like 2 days ago, I was like, hey, you're playing this.
Damn, clean it,
Damn.
by, bro.
Crazy.
Damn.
Wow.
Crazy. You think you know someone.
You know what? I'm finding somebody else.
I just think you got the chops for long talk, Gianni. I don't think you got
so,
it.
man.
I
Yeah,
don't got it
probably
like
not
that.
me. Yeah, I'm not very talkative, you know.
No.
We're too quiet. But yeah, so that's kind of led to where I am now. Obviously, you know, I was playing all kinds of different games. I was playing Elden Ring. I played Monster Hunter for a little bit there. I played Expedition 33. That was a whole journey. I played some Split Fiction. I did Blueprints. That was my first like really cool series that I did. Then I went that right into Tunic. And then I played Expedition 33, and boy,
Eric, you playing Expedition 33 was the first time I had ever like
interacted with
I
me.
always say this, like I Twitch stream, but I don't watch Twitch streams.
Yeah.
Like, cause it's like, admittedly, like it's just not my jam. Like I support my friends, but I just don't watch Twitch streamers.
Yeah.
Watching you play Expedition 33 was the first time I was like, huh. I was like, he doesn't really like this game and he's streaming it. I was like, I was baffled. I was like, I didn't know people play games they don't enjoy.
You want to know why I played that fucking game until Act 3 started? Because I'm a good friend and Jordan told me to.
Yeah.
That's why. I would have
It
stopped
was
a
literally
long
the first time I experienced it. I was like, I didn't realize there's people that stream things that they don't like.
I don't anymore. I don't anymore. But it was the one thing where I could be. I was like, Jordan was like, get to Act 3 and you'll figure out if you like the game or not. 'Cause guess what, Jordan? I don't fucking like the game.
Hey, it happens.
It happens.
But, you know, there was the tragedy of me playing that game. But you know what else came out around the same time that I was playing that game? I sure as shit streamed Uma Musume for the first time July 17th, 2025.
Wow.
That is... It is a little over a year ago. I started getting my recaps on TikTok of saying like, oh, this at this time last year. And I was like, oh shit, it happened.
It has been a year.
It has been a year.
Wow.
And now we're here. Now we're here. Now I have this
we're
really cool. Now I'm a part of the Content Mill. I have the Corner of the Internet Discord. We're in the merch right here. MrTheHuman.online. You can find it there. And I have this really cool fucking community that I built that really I'm realizing was the thing I wanted the whole time. Was not even like, you know, what I love to be, you know, me, I always joke, we're going to make $500,000 a year doing this, right? Manifest it. Would I love that? Absolutely. Would I love exactly what Phil said of being like, you know, I'm my boss? I would fucking love that. I would love that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm realizing over the last, you know, probably like 6 to 8 months, I would say, probably like 6 months, is like, it's the community. It's fostering the community, building the community that I've built and that we've now built and grown in Corner of the Internet. That's really kind of the goal. That's what like gets me up kind of like in the morning is like, cool, let me go check on how people are doing, make sure everything's like somebody today was like, oh yeah, like literally one of our like longtime members is like, yeah, I want to stream on YouTube, but I don't have enough subscribers. You need like 50 subscribers. So I posted this thing, got them to 50 subscribers. Like to be able to do that for somebody is really fucking cool. And I'm realizing that's like, and now like I have people that are like, you know, they pop into my Twitch stream and they're like, oh yeah, I found you doing this thing. And I was like, cool, that's fucking awesome. Like now I'm just kind of doing my thing. Yeah. And it's great. So it's been a wild journey.
People
like,
finding you just because you exist, not because like you're advertising yourself or like
Yeah. I haven't paid a single dime the entire time to advertise myself or promote myself. It's just been the grind basically. Yeah. And so yeah, that's been my journey. It is kind of crazy, Phil. I didn't realize it was only in like 8 months that I did all of that shit that I did.
Yeah, that's nuts, dude. Like that's
way... like I mean, that's like burnout. You're asking for burnout. That's crazy, dude. Like that's wild.
Like you did the travel vlog, you did the tattoo, like all in 1 month. Like that's too much.
Yeah. Now, look, now I don't do that much. Yeah. I've pulled back immensely because the growth is now kind of like I'm to a point where I'm growing organically without trying to fucking post every single day.
I think that's the goal. You know?
Yeah.
Like I still post, but now I only post when I feel like it's worthy of a post instead of like I need to fucking post every day. Or
I mean, I don't know what the YouTube meta is. Obviously, I'm not the person that you should look to for advice on that. Mr. Publish every 6 months. But I just can't imagine that it is sustainable to be out there posting on the daily. Like that that cannot be the way.
I think the big thing is it's funny you say the meta. I also think your shit is the meta, but it's also very difficult to do your meta, which is high quality long form videos, right?
Yeah, like I mean it's also It's like the law of large numbers, right? Like there's
Yeah.
how many billion people on YouTube. Like
Yeah.
you don't need to have something. You don't need to be Justin Bieber out here with a billion subs. You just
Yeah.
you just need like 100,000 people.
Just 100,000.
Yeah.
I think where I've fallen on that though is interesting because I think there's like a healthy, it's like finding that healthy middle ground is really because like I think I went through the phases of where I'm like, I'm spending so long trying to perfect something, but now it's like I'm not releasing. Then I went through the phase where I'm like, I just want to shotgun as much stuff as I possibly can. And I was like, I'm posting 2 reels a day, and and like that lasted me like 2 weeks, and I was like, I can't keep up with this anymore. The quality's suffering. Like I'm just not. It's not up to my standard. You know, I feel like there's a healthy middle ground that you can kind of reach. And Eric, like to your point, where you get to a space where like people are just finding you because you're making cool stuff and you're releasing it when it feels right, when it's the right time to release it.
Also,
and if that's twice a day, if that's twice a week, if that's twice a month, like whatever makes the most sense for you and your community, or twice a year.
Twice a year. Twice a year is viable.
You know,
The other thing is
you put out feature length films.
That's
so
true. Like, come on, yeah,
and your audience looks for that. You know?
Yeah.
That's the audience you want. Like,
Yeah.
And what's fun is that like that audience is going to ride hard. That's the big thing. It's like they're going to come back.
They will be
your
back.
shit.
Yeah.
But I think the thing for me is realizing that my content is now just out there, right? People are going to find me because I have posted so many shorts. Like there's so much of me out there that I don't have to work as hard.
You can't
anymore.
avoid me.
The algorithm is the almighty algorithm is going to do its thing. Like I still get views from videos, and I still get comments on my Blueprints shorts. Like I'm like, I haven't played that game since July of last year. Like, and I think that's the big thing. And the thing that made me realize I needed to slow down, one, was just that I was feeling burnt out, and two, I was like, I could not stream for another year, and I have enough clips in the backlog to post probably for almost a full year.
Keep posting,
like once a day. Like I was like, I need to stop. I need to stop. Kind of thing. And my views have dwindled. My concurrent views on Twitch have gone up, which is really the big goal. All that has been consistent. And you know, the algorithms are going to change. Everything's going to shift. Like it happens all the time. Yeah. But I keep having the same cool people show up in my chat, and new people show up because it's a welcoming community that I've like kind of fostered over time, which is nice. So and that's the real goal for me. Like the fact that yes, I have a bunch of Uma Musume sickos that love watching me play that game, but they still show up when I play fucking Racoin. Like you know, I fucking played a coin pusher, and they're still riding hard, man. Now at this point, they're just here for me, which is cool, you know, because they want to hang out with friends from the Discord who are now watching me play a game. It's nice. It's a very cool thing.
The thing that's like so fascinating about listening to you guys talk about this, and I'm teeing you up, Gianni, so prepare yourself. But the thing that's so fascinating about this is that I feel like the three of us so far have had like, we're testing stuff out. We're like, we're feeling around, seeing like what is working for us. And then there's like this moment where you're like, okay, I think I found a thing. I think I found maybe not the thing, but I found a thing. And now I've like hit this phase where I'm like trying to grow the thing that I'm working on to some degree. And I know that you mentioned that you also did this, Gianni, so I don't want to take that away from you. I do want to say, just based on the conversations that you and I have had over the past 9 months at this point, I feel like you have come at this, just based on your situation, in a much more rigorous and like focused kind of way, and not in a way that like strips away the creativity of that. But I'm kind of curious, when you look at the past year of content that you've done, I think if I remember correctly, you did not do content before this? Like where does that drive come from, and like why are you doing this? And like,
have you been on a podcast? Were you on a podcast like as a guest before doing this?
No.
That's so like where does it start? And like why did your dad being a comedian make this happen?
Yeah, exactly. Tell us.
I mean, but that is the foundation for a lot of this, to be honest with you. I mean, like, I remember, you know, I know I've mentioned it multiple times before, but like my dad's a stand-up comic. He's a voice actor. He's done voices in video games, cartoons, you know, and then when I was growing up, my dad was on the road 6 months out of the year doing stand-up. That was his bread and butter. That's what put food on the table. And we went through some like tough times. We went through some really great years and we went through some really tough years. But as a kid, like I remember seeing my dad and going, here's a man who got his degree in criminal justice, who was always like a lifeline. He was always like a class clown. He was always doing things. He was he started his creative journey as a child ventriloquist. Like that's what he was doing ventriloquism shows for like his classmates. Like that's what he would do, talent shows. He'd do ventriloquism like with little like magic bits and things like that. When he started in comedy, he was doing like a lot of like prop comedy, which was kind of frowned upon at the time that he started doing that. It was looked at in a different light at the time. But growing up for me, like I said, like we had some really great years. We had some really tough years. But he was always, it was so fascinating to me to see somebody who did, my dad was the dad with like the cool job. Like, and to this day, he's the dad with the cool job. You know what I mean? Oh, Gianni's dad's in his 60s and he does stand up and plays video games like in his free time. To this day, like my dad was the dad with the cool job. And I don't want to say like I aspired to be the dad with the cool job, but what I did aspire to do was, he was always very like beating it into our heads. Like whatever you're going to do, like do it 110%. If you want to, you know, embrace or chase a dream that people think is like unconventional the way his parents did, like do it, but like do it all the way. Like don't half-ass it. Don't do it. Don't half-ass it. You know what I mean? And like my grandparents, like very quickly embraced like what he was doing. I'm not going to act either. Like my grandparents never understood. Like they ended up becoming his number one fans. So for me in this space, like if I kind of go back in time, right? Like I always had a creative bone, but I never really knew how to exhibit it. Like I remember being a kid and like we would like at like holiday parties, me and all my cousins, we would like draw paintings and we go around the family and be like, I'm selling this painting. It's for a quarter, 25 cents for a quarter. And we were like 5 years old, like selling. And then like they'd buy the paintings off us for a quarter. And then me and my cousin be like, oh shit, like they're paying us money to like, so we go back in like my cousin's room and like, all right, let's make more stuff. And then we're like, all right, guys, now it's 50 cents for a drawing. Like whoever wants to. Yeah. So I always like, but I loved art. Like I loved doing those things. I loved using my imagination, and like it was this weird cross section of like I see it in real time. I see this use case of my father who is doing the fun thing, the creative thing, the thing that people like wish they could be doing, and he was making money doing it. So it was interesting to me because I always saw this cross section of like business and creativity and how those two things like don't have to hinder each other, if that makes sense. So like for me, I was always attacking things from a creative space, but I always had the like, not like, oh, I'm doing this because I want to make money, but I always was like, hey, there's got to be a way like I can turn this into something fruitful. Yeah. And so I remember, you know, when I was like, you know, 8, 9 years old, we would record like little skits and comedy shows on like my Sony Walkman tape recorder. Yeah. You know, I remember being in like 7th grade and me and my best friend at the time, before he passed away, like we wrote like a movie script, like a comedy movie script. And we're like, one day we're going to film this comedy movie script. Being in like 8th grade, And it's funny because Eric had mentioned this in pre-show, and I was like, I think we might have done the same thing. I'm not sure, but I remember being in like 8th grade, and like Jackass was like the move, and we're like, let's build a skate ramp. You got a video camera. You've got the skateboards. You've got the this, and like, okay, now we just made our own Jackass movie, like, and we're filming Jackass movies. I remember being in high school, and like, I was really into music production. I wanted to make music. I was really into hip hop music, and me and my high school best friend were like, we're making every Saturday, Sunday after school. We got the same job, so we could get off school, go to his house. We'd make music for like an hour and a half, and then we would go to our job. We'd work 5 to 9 p.m. telemarketing for like a lending company, and then we'd get off. We'd go make beats for like another hour, and then I'd go home and I'd go to school the next day, and like I do the same thing. So it was always like, I was always trying to fill my time with equal parts work and equal parts creativity. But as I got older, like life happened. Like I was like, I dropped out of college because I got in 2 gnarly car accidents that I just didn't have the ability to like sit in classes anymore, which I probably could have got like accommodations for. But I had moved out of my parents' house. I was like, I had then gotten a really good job with my former employer, making, double what I was as my part-time gig, selling appliances for Sears Roebuck. Like,
whoa. How'd they do?
Yeah, come on the show. But like all my creative dreams had just gone by the wayside. Like they disappeared because I was like, oh, I'm making good money. I was going to school. I was going to college for journalism, and I remember, before I even chose my major, I was doing creative writing. Like I was winning awards in high school for like short story writing, poetry jams and stuff like that. Like I was always writing. I was a big writer in high school. So I kind of like bounced from like creative outlet to creative outlet to creative outlet to creative outlet. When I had to pick a major, I remember I was at lunch with my mom and my college girlfriend, and they were like, why don't you just pick journalism? Like you're a writer. So I was like, all right, cool. Like I'll pick journalism. I took a J100 course, then a J101 course. I was a college reporter. And the next semester I became editor in chief, which was like unheard of at that time. And that to me felt like a big accomplishment where I was like, oh, I'm like, once again, like 110%, like I'm balls to the wall. I'm like, I'm giving my all to this thing. I dabbled in broadcast. I dabbled in magazine design. I was doing like page editing. I won state awards for page editing. So I was like graphic design for like page design stuff, using like Adobe InDesign. I was just everywhere. Like anywhere I wanted to design or create, I was trying to do something with it. But again, like all my creative hobbies and endeavors and projects kind of fell by the wayside once I got my job with like my previous employer. I was living on my own, and I just didn't have time for things anymore because I was supporting myself financially. I ended up getting promoted. I live in Southern California, just outside of LA now. I grew up in Los Angeles County, but like I got promoted to a job, and I definitely didn't have any more time for any of those creative outlets. And I got promoted again. I got promoted a second time, and I relocated. So I relocated from Southern California to Paso Robles, California, like wine country.
Yeah.
I was working just outside of San Luis Obispo, like in Los Osos, this little swamp town.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. Great people out there, but it's kind of, And I had nobody. I had no family. I had no friends. I was in a supervisory role, so like I couldn't hang out with like the people that I was managing because it became a conflict of interest, which I took that pretty seriously. So what did I do? I bought a microphone, I bought a webcam, I bought a Elgato capture card, and I did nothing with any of it because I was I was scared.
Yeah.
I grew this. I was so out of the creative space for so long. It had been like 5-6 years since I had created like anything, and I was like, I don't know what
year
I'm
was
doing.
this? You said
This would have been 2019. So get ready for it.
Yeah.
This is
so
2019.
excited right now.
This is like
Isn't
October.
Isn't that crazy? Like when you hear the year 2019 when somebody's telling a story, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
The twist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is October 2019. And I bought all that shit, did nothing with it. I was just fearful. Like I was like, what if people are going to think I'm stupid? Like, and I had always been that person where like, I'm not going to pat myself on the back, but like, I always kind of like use humor as like a deflection tool, as like a way to kind of like insert myself in spaces. But I was really bad at like putting myself in front of people. I was always good when they're like, and here's Gianni. And I'm like, oh, let me do my dance and let me make my jokes. Like I was always really good at that, but I was really bad at like inserting myself in a space and making myself the center of attention, if that makes sense. So the idea of Twitch streaming scared the shit out of me, but everyone was doing it. And so I spent a lot of time on YouTube, and that is when little teeny tiny podcast company known Kind of Funny popped up on my algorithm. It was a show called KFAF with Andy Cortez and Nick Scarpino. And that was what kicked off my love of Kind of Funny. That was like my first ever introduction to podcasting, which was like video podcasting was through Kind of Funny. And then I also
2019
in 2019, I knew podcasts, but I didn't like absorb podcasts, which was weird coming from the media space. I was very much into like reading print media. I'm reading reviews on IGN. I'm skipping the video. I'm going straight for the.
You're skimming. You're skimming. We've been over this. You're skimming.
You're skimming.
So I discovered Kind of Funny through KFAF, and then around the same time was also when I got really big into the Joe Budden podcast, which was like another like daily listen for me.
I've heard that's really good. Yeah,
Joe Budden podcast is great. And I don't listen to it as much now. I listen to an offshoot podcast, the Rory and Ma podcast. But I was always big into the hip hop space as well, so I listened to like a lot of hip hop radio, Breakfast Club, things like that. So my introduction to those spaces was all through video. 2020 rolls around. I have now since like relocated back down south. I'm living with my best friend. And pandemic hits. I'm now in I've kind of like half step promoted again. I'm running kind of like a bigger team. Then my whole life just becomes my job. I'm working 50, 60 hour work weeks. Pandemic hits. My whole team gets relocated. I'm managing people that like I barely met before. And I'm supposed to kind of like, kind of be in charge of these people who don't know me from the last person that was their boss. You know what I mean? So it drives an even bigger wedge into like my creative endeavors. Anyway, long story short, I kept kind of moving up through this company. Eventually I made my way over to a job that I loved at first. And then kind of was like, whatever's on, and then slowly just grew to not enjoy it like at all. Well, in my spare time, I was kind of like looking towards, I remember there like a switch flipped, and I was like, I need to fulfill something in my heart that's been missing for a really long time, because my whole life has become this company that I work for. And I still have a lot of respect for that company, but like my whole life had become this job. And I thought of people like my dad. I thought of people like his friends who worked in different creative spaces. And I thought of like all these dreams and like aspirations I had when I was 6 years old, drawing paintings for a quarter for my uncles and my aunts and my grandparents, who some of which were no longer in my life through, life being life, you know what I mean? And I was like, I want to be able to create something, whether that's in my free time or whether that's as part of my career, that my kids can look at the way I looked at my dad's line of work and go, like, that's cool. Like he's chasing something, he's doing something, regardless of what anybody thinks, regardless of what anybody's like perspective on pursuing something that might be looked at as like awkward or goofy or weird or cringy or whatever. Like I want to be able to just say I did something, whether that whether that was like creatively or in a line of work. So I started making reviews on YouTube, which was January 2025. Was my first YouTube review, which was, I remember I was talking to my partner and I was like, what should I review first? She's like, I don't know. And we were both heavily into Balatro. And I was like, I'm just going to make a review of my time with Balatro. So I started making, I didn't know like how to insert, again, I was on Discord communities, but I was like, how do I just start making content? Like, I don't know. I don't have a gang. I don't have a crew of people that I'm working with. I don't have a Kind of Funny. I don't have, a Giant Bomb. I don't have those things. I'm like, I don't have no industry experience. I was like, I'll just pick games that I like and I'll just talk about games I like. I'm not going to pick games I don't like. I'm like, let's start easy. Like, I'll start with games that I really enjoy. So there were some game reviews like I skipped because I didn't like I didn't like said games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And by doing those reviews, I was like, I should probably start kind of getting the hang of being uncomfortable, putting myself in situations that I'm like not super comfy with. And that's just inserting myself in front of everybody. And the easiest way for me to do that was on Twitch. I was like, let me get on Twitch. Let me just kind of be uncomfortable, be on camera. This will be like a nice way for me to practice, being uncomfortable. Slowly kind of made my rounds in the review space, slowly started kind of like making my, doing no numbers on Twitch. No one was watching Gianni on Twitch. But like the review started picking up a little traction in the Discord over on Drop In, Drop Out. And that's where I met all you guys. Yep. And because I was in that creative space where I was like, I'm not getting any younger, at the time I would have been 34 going on 35. Like I was like, I'm not getting any younger. This is going to be my only opportunity for me to pursue something before I get to a point where like, it's too late, because I've seen people get to that point where like, it's too late. And I was like, I don't want that to be my story. I don't want to look back and go like, shit, man, like I should have kept making hip hop beats, or I should have kept writing my little short stories, or I had so many things on my plate and so many things that I was trying to spin throughout the years. I'm like, why can't I just lock in on something? So I was like, what's the common denominator here? I've been gaming my whole life. I'm making these videos about video games. I'm playing video games on camera. I'm talking to my new internet friends about video games. I'm like, I'm just going to lock in. Like, this is it. But I'm going to treat it. Phil, you talk about rigorous. I was like, I'm going to treat it like my dad. Like, yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's goofy. Yeah, it's like, but it's like, I'm also going to treat it like a business. Like, I'm going to work my 8 hours a day. I'm going to segment my calendar. I'm going to reach out to people and try to connect and network is a nasty word that we always use. But that's kind of like what brought me to placing the bat signal out on the Drop In, Drop Out Discord and going, I don't know where the freak to start. I don't know who to talk to. I don't know who's interested. I go, but I want to start a podcast. I'm going to host it because I've never done it before, but I need to practice and I need to get good at it. And who's down? And I got DMs from one Heroic Headgear, Nate. I got DM from 170% Complete Phil, and one Mr. The Human Plays, aka Mr. The Human, Eric. And I said, let's build a podcast. And now we're here building a podcast and building a business.
Yeah.
Rigorous.
Rigorous. That is wild. Because the way me and Phil met was because we're in the same podcasting, we listen to the same podcast. That's how we met. And so for you to just I'd been consuming podcasts since what was it? What the fuck was Chris What's-His-Face's podcast? Whatever.
The Nerdist?
The Nerdist. I was listening to that years ago.
Yeah.
And stuff. I was listening to that, and then I was listening to I started listening to My Brother and Me and Adventure Zone and all that stuff. And so I was I always wanted to do a podcast. And so for you to find a podcast, and obviously it was 6 years ago now, right? It's 2020.
Yeah.
But still, that's when you found is really crazy.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I consumed between 2019 and 2025, I consumed a lot. Like I said, the baseline was Kind of Funny and the Joe Budden podcast.
Yeah.
Hip hop and video games, my two things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hip hop music and video games. Those are my two staples.
And art direction. That's the one.
And art direction. But even when I was ready to do a podcast, I was I'm going to host it. I got no experience, but I know I can do it. I'm going to make myself uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
And then I was same thing with editing. I'm I don't know how to edit anything. I go, but if I'm going to quit my job, I want to build a resume and I want to get good. I want to be so good at everything that I can go anywhere and go, this is my resume.
Yeah.
Look at it, shove it in their face. You know what I mean? I can edit it. I can write it. I can host it. I can produce it. I can do the social media for it. I can play Copilot. I can do any of those things. So my first ever podcast was Spotlight. When I quit my job, was Spotlight Games with Patrick. The first time I ever hosted a show was with you guys on our pilot episode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was all in a way, a means to like, let me make myself as uncomfortable as I can because I fucking know I can do it. I just need to stop being so fearful. And I know if I tell you guys I'm going to do it, I have no choice. I can't be like, guys, I'm going to host the show. And then the day of the show, I'll be like, nah, just guys, can one of you guys do it? Like if I volunteer for said job, like I've got no choice. I got to follow through with it. But it was also like, let me just get uncomfortable. Let me practice using different avenues, which was the Twitch streams. And, you know, let me do everything, because one day when I get this cool job becomes a cool business that makes us all, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I can hire someone to edit it. I can hire someone to produce it. But I've got that kind of like muscle memory where I can be like, I've got my hands touching everything.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, like, I'm going to work my 40 hours. I'm going to work my, you know, Monday through Fridays is 3 hours in the morning. There's my Twitch stream. Then I segment 3 hours for editing the podcast on Mondays and Tuesdays. And then Thursdays and Fridays, I'm cutting shorts. And then Wednesdays, I take a little admin day in the morning and I'm doing it. Like, I schedule it like a job, but it's cool. It's cool as shit. You know what I mean? The same way my dad does it. You know what I mean? Like, he's got a cool job, but it's his career. Like, it's his business.
Yeah.
And that's kind of always the way where I'm like, I don't have to sacrifice being a mature adult for the cool job, in the same way that I don't have to sacrifice the cool job just to be a mature adult. I can do both of those things. I just got to be smart about it. And I'm still learning. Like, you know, this job doesn't pay millions of dollars overnight. Like, eventually I'd love to work for like one of these cool outlets so I can quit again and keep doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, I think the biggest thing that I learned over all this time, and it's something that you'll hear everywhere, which was like, and it wasn't something that I fully believed until I finally did it, which was just being consistent. Like, finally having short game long talk, which does not do numbers. Like, we're doing pretty decently now just because my following as a whole has grown, but it's not anything crazy. Like, it's a niche market with like very specific things that a million other people are doing, right? I just found out, I just had Emily on from No Small Games, like, and I just found out that we started at like the exact same time, basically. Like, you know, like the idea of covering smaller games is not anything like crazy, but the fact that I have almost 4 years of at least once a month posting that, people started to, like, you know, people can find me and then see a backlog. We have almost 50 episodes of the show now. Like, you can be like, go check out my show, and you can recommend an episode, or you can be like, oh, go look, there's 50 episodes to watch or listen to, you know?
And I think that it's not just like, I feel like as the person who rarely publishes, like the thing about hearing be consistent is that, I guess, like, we're deep in this episode now. So if you're a new content creator or curious about becoming a content creator, I'm sorry you listened to all of that. But also, I think the thing to take away from that I think each one of us has a different version of what be consistent looks like.
100%.
There's not like, one answer to be consistent.
No, and it's not like, I mean, Eric, it's not publishing every single day. No. You know, it's not like only being the Dark Souls guy. It's not like only making the Mandalorian helmets. It's like being consistent of like, I'm on camera, I'm here, like I am doing my job. I am like, you know, for me, I am like, I will take fucking forever, but I promise you that the thing that I put out is going to be consistently as good as it was last time, if not better. Yeah. You know, like,
and you're being consistent behind the scenes. Yes. That's the thing too, is you're not just like, oh, like this video only takes me a week, but I wait forever. It's like you're working on it all of the time. That's the consistency for you, is like you are consistently polishing that video
skill
until it's exactly what you want it to be.
Like
you literally said this morning, like, it's like falling into place because you've been consistent and you've learned all these different things. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it really is like, I'm like, I don't know, like be predictable is like not quite the same, but like, I think all of us to some degree have an expectation or have like built our personal brand
Yeah.
to be like, when you see our face, when you hear our voice, when you see that bucket hat, you know what to expect, you know, like you know what you're coming into. And like, that's the important consistency stuff when I think about it. Like, it's really easy to say like, be consistent is put out an episode every 2 weeks, or like, you know, do this or do that. But it's like, no, when you show up, and like, this is the job part that Gianni was talking about, but like, when you show up, like, you fucking show up, and like, you are doing the thing. And that is the consistent part of what you are doing. Like, you are being a predictable person, a predictable chaos agent, if you will. But like, you put out the thing.
Consistency is like not about the specific content. It's so much, it's just about, like Eric, you said, like the skills that you're polishing, the like, I'm like, like, it's funny because even I am like, as long as I'm on camera, like 12 hours a week, whether that's the
so
Twitch
much
stream,
too,
you know what I mean?
Like, it's so crazy
Twitch,
to think about.
exactly. Is like the Twitch streams or the podcasts. So it's like, cause I know, like, okay, I'm building a skill. I'm practicing something. Maybe it's different. Maybe sometimes it's mostly skewing on the podcast side, or maybe I'm guesting. Like last week was like, it was like guest spots, and maybe I pull the Twitch streams back a little bit. It's like, as long as I'm like practicing a skill, and then the behind the scenes is equally as consistent. You know what I mean? I think that's just really what it boils down to. Is just, are you doing the thing? And and if you're doing it for fun, like, cool. Like, I'm not saying like, I'm not over here like treat everything like a job, but like,
but if you want it to be a job,
it's gotta
but
be
I think if you want it to be a job, but also if you want to get good at it, like if you want to get good at your hobby, if you want to get good at like your creative outlet, like you, like, I'm a firm believer, like, get your 10,000 hours. Like, you should get your, you should aim for that 10,000 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And another thing too is like a perfect example of this is like, when I started streaming, and you know, I talked about why I didn't stream, and that's why I kicked myself, is because I wanted everything to be perfect. I wanted to just have it be perfect. I wanted to have the nice webcam, the nice
that was my
layout,
big struggle,
like all that thing. And in reality, I should have just started fucking doing it, right? Because now it's over a year later, and I joke about it all the time. When I have a tech issue, I just start laughing and then like figure it out on the fly live. And I used to like panic and then go
freak
to like
out.
my be right back screen and figure it out. I'm like, fuck it. Like, now I'm just like, fuck it. You guys are gonna see me figure it out. I'm like, why the fuck is that like that? I'm like talking to chat and like, you know, relaxed about it, but I'm still like doing the thing, right? And you're growing. I cannot wait for like the 1 year anniversary. I'm gonna go back and listen to this first episode of this podcast. Yeah, it's so fun going back and watching and listening to your old stuff. It's crazy.
Oh, I've gone back. I don't know if you like Nate or Phil. Like, I don't know if you guys have gone back to like listen to the first episodes, but like it's fun where I just see all of our progress from like, because even if you have history like Phil and Eric, like you guys have history podcasting, it's still a different podcast. It's a different process. It's a different. It's just like a different. You're flexing like the same muscle in a different way. So you're still kind of like trying to maneuver through those hurdles. You know what I mean? I try not to do it too frequently, but I have gone back and like listened to the like introduction episode or the C review, or like, and I'm like, man, like we have same thing. I listen to my reviews. Like, I'm
He's
like,
got his opinions.
He hates Sword of the Sea. Like, what is his deal?
Whenever he needs to pick me up, he listens to the Reanimal episode to get really mad.
Or like I'll listen to like my first reviews, and I'm just like, man, like I can see how I like grew in that, and like became more succinct, or my tone of voice, or you know how I'm like emoting something, or how I'm getting rid of filler. I say as we're 24 minutes over on the episode, but
it's okay. This is basically basically our anniversary episode kind of thing.
Yeah,
like, it's celebrating you, it's celebrating us. Like, fuck it.
Yeah, absolutely. But man, I'm just excited for like where all of our journeys are going. You know, I feel like we all kind of have like similar mindsets and like what we want to get out of it in varying degrees, obviously. Like I said earlier, I think that like you can treat something with the intent and severity of a career or a job without it being that, or without it feeling that way.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of how I try to approach everything, is like, I do want to make a career out of this. For those that don't, but like treat it seriously, like take it seriously, make it fun, but like take it seriously.
Yeah.
And, you know, be consistent with yourself. I think Phil, you mentioned 100%. Earlier, like you're twice a year, you know what I mean? Like, you know, Nate, you're kind of like in the physical space, and like the streams are kind of like when it feels right for you. You know, Eric, you and I kind of like maintain these like, you know, revolving schedules, but like this podcast goes out every Wednesday, 9 a.m. or, you know, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Is like, there's things that like dependable things that we kind of have to treat with a certain level of seriousness. Like we can still have fun, and we don't have to sacrifice that enjoyment out of a cool thing. Like we're not saving lives. Like we're talking about fucking video games over here.
Yeah. I mean, I've said this with the Avowed video, and I'll say it for the Wolfenstein one that I'm working on right now. Like these projects take me months to work on.
Yeah.
And I cannot point to a time where I have actually felt bad about it. You know, like it is thrilling to work on these things, and like to, you know, even the, like when I popped in for like an hour for your affiliate anniversary thing. There it is, Gianni. Like when I just like popped in there, it's like, oh no, like this is fun. Like it is good to like be here. It's good to be like talking to people. It's good to be like out in the world and like making things. And like I think that, you know, if we want to put a button on this as we approach the over 30-minute mark, I think that like I agree with you completely. Like if you want to get good at a thing, like treat it seriously, sit down and like do it and learn about it. And if you want to like pull that back even further to have like a grand thesis about like life and being creative, it's just like there will be times when you're not able to do these things. And when, you know, it's nice to hear these four dudes on a podcast talk about how nice it is to be creative all of a sudden.
Yeah.
We are in a place now where we're able to do that. We were not individually at different times able to do that sometimes.
Yep.
And so I think having those moments in our past where like it was not working out, there's not going to be time to do this stuff, and being in a space where I can spend far too much time like filming weird light setups, like go all in on that. Like notice those moments and then lean into it completely, because you never know if you're about to enter the next part where you're not able to do that anymore. And at least you can leave that moment saying, like, I fucking did it. Like I sat down, I did the thing. I feel good about where I'm at, or I don't feel good about where I'm at, but I know why. And like, that's like, if we want to bring it back to the whole thing, like why do you do this? It is that reason. Like I want to know why. Like I want to know why I do the things. I want to understand why the things work the way that they do. I want to know why they make people, including myself, feel the way that they do. And I want to lean into all of those things. And like, that's creativity to me. Like that's art. Like I want to like get in there. I want to feel that. And like to think that like the thing that I do of like make these big long dumb videos is like art compared to you guys streaming stuff, compared to Nate like hand painting helmets. Like all of these are different ways of interacting with media in a way that is like transformative and exciting. And like, man, it's so cool to be able to sit down and do that stuff, and just like remembering that it is cool to do that is like the other part of the job thing, that like, yes, I want this to be my job because it is cool and I love doing this, and I love that you people love doing this too.
That is, you hit the nail on the head. It's like, I've been doing this full time for a year. Not once have I woken up and gone like, shit, I gotta do this today, and I gotta do that today, and I gotta do. Now, is my income anywhere near what it used to be? No, but I had that frequently when I was making good money. I would much rather be in this space, like you said, where like I can physically, emotionally, and mentally take advantage I wake up every day. I'm excited to do whatever I'm doing, whether that's being on camera with like the Twitch community, whether that's doing the podcast with you guys, whether it's doing someone else's thing, whether it's editing, whether it's just brainstorming with you guys on Discord, like whatever the thing is. Like
that's the big thing I was.
That's the important thing is like, yes, I'm over here talking about like, yeah, I want to make it my business and it's fun and it's cool and my kids think it's awesome. But the most important thing for me is like, I enjoy every second of every single work day. Every second of it. I love it to the point where I'm like, when I go back to work eventually to kind of get my head above water, I just want to do this kind of stuff. I just want to do it in a place where I can kind of like, you know, financially breathe in a easier way. Yeah. Just so I can get right back to doing what we're doing right now because I freaking love it. It fulfills me. Do something that fulfills you, because if you're not, you're wasting your time. Yeah. You're wasting your time. Yeah. Don't waste your time by not fulfilling yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, start small, start doing something that, like, you know, I work, me and Phil and Nate, we all work full time doing the stuff on the side. And Gianni gave himself the opportunity, worked his butt off to give himself this opportunity to be able to do this for a year. And there's all different kinds of like scenarios for people to start making stuff, but just start. Like if you want to, just start. You know,
don't do what I did.
Don't quit your job. Don't do that.
Don't quit your job.
Don't do that.
Yeah, for the record, just to set the record straight, I worked for a company for a very long time that offered very great benefits and very good pay. I quit after 10 years with a nice nest egg. I had a very long conversation with my partner and my family and go, hey, can you give me 18 months? And it was like, no questions asked. Let's do it. Don't do what I did unless it feasibly makes sense.
If it's feasible, if you've worked your ass off like Gianni did to give yourself that opportunity, give yourself the opportunity. Yeah. I can't do that.
But maybe like Twitch stream a little bit before, like maybe do a podcast. Maybe like a little
bit first. Maybe like do the thing, like
try.
I was like, yeah, I quit my job. Have you ever podcasted? Nope.
Do you have a subscriber? Nope.
Nope. Not a one.
Yeah. But hey, so speaking of which, you know, to wrap us up a bit, we are very close to 200 subscribers on YouTube. Ooh, we're very close. Oh. Maybe we're there already, but if we're not,
maybe we're there now.
And you're listening and you've gotten this far,
it could be you.
It could be you.
You could be number 200.
200.
We'll get a roulette wheel up there. See if you win a prize.
Yeah.
This is the only time you're going to hear us beg on the Content Mo podcast is right now.
I'm not begging. I'm just saying it's a cool thing.
We're just saying facts, man.
It is. It is absolutely.
Be 200.
Guys, it's been such a good journey with you guys. I already cried on my affiliate anniversary stream, but like,
only took 15 minutes too.
Yeah, it literally only took 15 minutes. I cried so fast, you guys. I cried
so fast.
This project of ours, like all that fulfillment and joy and happiness and like excitement to get up in the morning and do this thing, like I could not feel that way or continue doing what I'm doing now if it wasn't for you three, because this podcast and what we do for it and what I do for it and what I do, it's all a product of the dynamic and chemistry and relationship that the four of us have. So to cap things off, I just want to say, like, I thank you guys. I love you guys. And this has just been an awesome conversation, and it's been an awesome year for me. And I think hearing our journeys together is very telling, and it makes me especially excited for everything that we got in store for us. So I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, love you too, man.
Yeah,
love you too, dude.
It has been an honor and a privilege.
And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.
Wow.